My apologies. This is going to be low energy. I really feel like crap. It's not the Bell's palsy, and it's not the more distant car accident. I think I ate something. I don't know. I've already called in sick for work tonight. Imagine that. First day after vacation, back to work, and I call in sick. I'm not well. Physically not well. I'm also not spiritually well. The physical, I think after a good night's sleep and something bland for breakfast, I'll be okay. Oatmeal, maybe, cream of wheat, I don't know. And this, I'm hoping to get through what I want to say without any panel, not even my co owners. And I see I have zero audience, so I might have to repeat it if I see an audience build up. Oh, I see one. Okay. Um, Not feeling well. It's nothing major. It's not the Bell's palsy. It's not the car accident. I think I ate something bad. Um, Taking the night off from work, and I'm hoping to get through what I got to say here without any panel, not even my corners. I know I always say my corners are always welcome to come up, but I want to get through this without any distraction because I'm very easily distracted. I really want to just get through this and go to bed. Um, Aside from my physical not feeling well right now, and I'm sure that's temporary, fellow member, fellow owner, the co-owners. Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, yeah. Maybe it's this shit. I don't know. I don't feel good. The spiritual thing, I've been mean, and I justify it with some people I've been mean to deserve it. Doesn't matter if they deserve it. I've been mean, and I think at least one of you know it's not good for our spiritual condition. 11 already. Okay, maybe more than one of you. At least one of you. You see in my title, Step 8, that's Step 8 out of 12. There are 12 steps that I try to work relating to my 13 years of sobriety, 14 years with a group known as AA. Feel better, Finkel. I say prayer. I don't think what I'm going through right now physically is really needing a prayer. I think a good night of sleep. I think a very bland breakfast, oatmeal or something like that. Do I have any oatmeal? I don't know. I'll figure it out in the morning. Well, step 8 is made a list of all persons we had harmed and became willing to make amends to them all. Now, the reason I'm using a step for this is in my mind, in my last 13, 14 years of growth. By the way, when I say growth, it's like the stock market. Over 10 years, it's always going to be up. But in that 10 years, you got dips and you got raises. Well, it's just not a nice linear lineup. If you look at the markets 10 years ago and now, you could probably draw a straight line to get from 10 years ago to now. But on the way, we've had downturns and upturns and downturns and downturns and upturns. But over a long period of time, it's an improvement. And the Finkel you all know, or think you know from YouTube, is not the same guy I was 13 years ago when I really got sober, or 14 years ago when I gave it a half-ass attempt, no more than 14 years ago. Certainly not the same Finkel you would have known if you knew me even before that. So spiritual progress, not spiritual perfection. Those of you familiar with the 12 steps, you know what I'm talking about from how it works. Okay, I'm willing to make amends to all those that I have harmed. And quite frankly, I really don't know who I've harmed with my meanness. I've been mean. So even in the moment, whether I did them harm or not, I intended harm. Some of it I thought I was being funny. Some of it I thought I was being just. just or not, it's not right for my spiritual condition. Anyway, okay. Just recently today, all kinds of drama. In fact, I had quite a few more watchers. In fact, I see it's a little bit higher than normal now. Probably people can see there's going to be more drama. And I get it. Drama sells. Drama's fun to watch. It's addictive. Drama is addictive. And I know something about addiction. A couple kinds, nicotine and alcohol. One day at a time, I've been kicking alcohol's ass for the last 13 years, 1 month, and I don't know, you do the math. It's always waiting to kick my ass, so. One day at a time, I'm not going to let it. Okay, my spiritual condition, mean. I've been mean. And whether they deserved it or I thought they deserved it or I was trying to be funny, it's not good for my meanness. One thing that comes to mind, I apologize, BSBT, and in my mind, you deserved it. Just because you deserved it doesn't mean it was my right to do it. Actually, I thought of this mean idea quite a while ago. I just hadn't had the opportunity to apply it. And the idea was somebody I don't like, somebody I don't want on my panel, comes up on panel and I play, hey, we got new audiences. Tell us a little bit about yourself. And then as they start talking, I kick them out to shut the fuck up. Nobody wants to hear it. It was, I think I got a lot of laughs out of it. In that moment, it was funny. And I guess the idea is funny, but the truth is, it was mean. I thought it was great. Yeah, I get it. It is funny. And sometimes funny and mean, they cross. I would have loved to have watched it on the other side. I enjoyed, to be honest, I loved doing it. But that's a problem for my spiritual condition. In the past, you all know I've been very mean to GS. I think I was righteous in doing that at the time. Yeah, I thought he deserved it. It doesn't matter if he deserved it or not. I was being mean. Today, for public safety, I'm kind of mad at for public safety. That doesn't mean I have the right to be mean to him. 110 step is BSBT. What I did to BSBT was mean. Funny, deserved, I don't know. It wasn't my right to do that, or wasn't good for my spiritual condition. The operative phase is premeditated. Actually, I did premeditate that. I wasn't premeditated specifically with BSBT. The idea of doing that was premeditated. I was just waiting for the right person, the right opportunity, and there it was. And I did it, and got some laughs out of it. I think I got a few extra clicks and views out of it. Not good for me. Nerdy, I think you missed it. I don't remember being on earlier today, but you're familiar that I've been mean. I've not been a good 12-step worker. But we claim progress, not perfection. Today's earlier stream started out with checking some emails. I was reminded about a guy named Christopher Ruff, what I've seen a few times before. And only because I promised it to like 50 people were in the audience at the time, 50 or 60 people. I'll finish that. If I remember correctly, I was somewhere around 16 minutes into it. But I'm going to change my course. I was laughing at stuff. I was laughing at stuff, including what appears to be me being an addict, self-medicating an actual medical situation. Yeah, me again. I'll owe you again. Okay. So in the sense of finishing what I started, not tonight, I will pick up that Christopher Ruff video. And I will do my best to give it a fair assessment as I go through with it. I hope it's not really 3 hours and 37 minutes. Hopefully this topic changes, but we'll see. We'll see. Not tonight. Can't say, but thick skin is required for social. It is. Yes, if you're going to engage on social media, you got to have thick skin. But if you're working a 12-step program working towards spiritual progress, I really shouldn't engage at the level that I've engaged. Recently, writer BSBT, Christopher Ruff, Angry Vet. I've even made comments about, what's that guy's name? Jeff Appleby. And in the past, I've done it with, I guess even recently I did it with JJ. In the past, I've done it with GS. My God. GS's wife. I said some really disgusting shit targeting GS's wife with the intention, actually I was targeting GS, but the reality was I was defaming her character. It was, in my sick mind, it was in the idea of being funny, and my sick mind, it was my way of getting at GS. The truth is, it was harmful to her. Words can hurt, and yeah, if you're going to engage in social media, you got to have thick skin. She wasn't engaging in social media at the time. At the time, I had never seen her on YouTube. GS referred to her, but here it is, a person I've never seen, never met, never talked to, and I'm trashing her name with the sole purpose of getting at GS. Now, I apologized, and I think that 9th step amends is met only because of her grace. I have found no way that I can really make her whole for those disgusting jokes, but her grace made her whole, her grace in forgiving me and moving on. And from what I understand from GS, it's not very easy to get her grace. But I received it. It is called grace because I didn't deserve the forgiveness, and she seems to have given me the forgiveness. Well, if I sound like a blabbering idiot, I apologize. And no, tonight's 12-step meeting had nothing to do with the 8th step or the 9th step. Actually, it was the 3rd step. Made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. It was actually the reading from the 12 and 12, not the big book. This is a book. It's the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. We call it the 12 and 12. It was written by Bill Wilson and his buddies in early AA sometime after World War II, because in the 3rd step in this book, not the big book, it refers to soldiers and sailors in World War II maintaining their sobriety in some very trying times. I didn't blabbering idiot. Why should tonight be any different? It's not. I'm still a blabbering idiot, as I always am. When I show my face on YouTube, and I'm not talking about the droopy face, I'm talking about when I participate in the drama. Today, well, right now we got 20. I'm going to suspect about 10 of you are kind of looking for more drama. I don't blame you. Drama is addictive. Or maybe you're somehow emotionally tied up in the Chris Ryder stuff, or the GS stuff, or the JJ stuff, or the Christopher Ruff stuff. I get it. It's addictive. Or maybe you think you have an emotional attachment to it. The truth is, most people on YouTube don't meet. I've had the pleasure of meeting Jess Muxter. We've, to steal a phrase, we've broken bread together. The fucker stole my donuts. Okay, that's a joke. I left him there intentionally because I don't want to transport donuts back to Virginia. I've been mean. I participated in meanness. I laughed at other people's expense. And I'm human. I will probably do it. I'm not making a vow to never do it again, but I'm going to try. In fact, when I finished the Christopher Ruff video, well, one person said, the stoner ripped you a new asshole. Another person said, oh, he was just looking for weaknesses. He doesn't know you. And another person said, he may have a thing or two in tongue in cheek. And I really don't know. In the 16 minutes that I got up to, he said a few things about me. He's pretty much responding to a video I did where I recorded myself while I'm driving. And Finko, I've seen pretty much all your stuff. For me, the most shocking was your reaction to Ashley Babbitt. I'll reassess that, but still, I see her as a person that took the same oath I did and violated that oath when she literally attacked the Constitution of the United States. In my opinion, the Electoral College, which is covered in the Constitution, went one way, and Ashley Babbitt was among those who tried to change that result with violence. Was I mean to her? I don't know. I didn't shoot her, but yeah, okay. Yeah, I was mean when I the way I dramatized the reaction to that. Yeah, it was gross. I get it. I see her as a literal enemy of that which I took an oath to. January 6th was a crime. Yeah. There are some who think it was crime of the other side. I disagree. I thought your assessment was spot on. Oh. I still think so, except the way I did it wasn't good for my spiritual growth. It was good for my patriotic growth, but those are two different things. The third step talks about the key of willingness, a decision to turn our will and our life over to the care of God as we understood him. And it goes into detail about whether we want to call him God or higher power, or, well, we talked about it, group of drunks, G-O-D, get a group of drunks. Basically, I'm formulating an unconfirmed opinion that when you're in recovery, you do step 1. Oh boy, yeah. Step 2, yeah, that could happen. Step 3, and then you get repetitive. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. We call that the AA waltz. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And when you work with a group of people of the same gender, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is taking inventory. 1, 2, 3, 5. 5 is sharing the results of that inventory with a sponsor, a clergy, a trusted other human being, and your higher power. 1, 2, 3, 6. And you got to do the 1, 2, 3, in my opinion. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say you. I have to do 1, 2, 3 for each step, 4 through 12. And then I got to do it again. It's not like I do steps 1 through 12. I get my marriage badge and yay, I go back to the bar. It's not how it works. It's a continuous daily check-in with your spiritual growth. And I've been failing that. I don't know where I'm going to go with YouTube going forward. And try to take out the meanness, whether I think the person deserves it, whether I think it's funny, whether I'm angry at the person for violating somebody else's constitutional rights, Christopher Ryder. Okay, technically, he didn't violate GS's rights. He swore an information that resulted in it. It was his intention, in my opinion. I was very angry at him today. He seemed to make fun of and deny someone's reaction to trauma. And he himself has reactions to trauma. Whether you call it PTSD, whether you diagnose it or not, he is reacting in a very bad way to GS because of what others did to him before GS, in my opinion. And when he kept going after GS, targeting his trauma, I'm not saying GS has PTSD, but GS has been traumatized quite a bit by, not just for public safety, but by, when I say all of us, I'm talking about certain circles that were completely against GS when GS first came out against Chris Ryder. Why in the fuck did we do that? Yeah, GS says a lot of things a lot of us on the liberal, the political ideology thing disagree with. But why did we attack his wife, his service? Why did we attack his intelligence and articulation? Okay, I get it. You know, if you're like me, you lean to the left, you attack his leaning to the right. But all that other shit, you know, disagree with the politics, disagree with the ideology. no reason to attack his status as a veteran, as a retired veteran, as a medically retired veteran. Whether or not he had an opportunity for an operation that may have, the key word, may have prevented a need for medical retirement. He did serve, he was injured, and he didn't get that for whatever reason. And the military qualified him for a medical retirement. Why in the fuck have we been attacking that all this time? Because we like to be mean. We like to be mean. And we get addicted to being mean. We get addicted to the drama. And drama sells. Drama is intriguing. We like to watch it. I'm going to try and do better. KS4OFD, what up? I don't recognize some of these names. I know Alan, I know James. The Ginger Bloodborne 420, not familiar. Ryder brought on this own BS by putting all his lies on YouTube. You know what? Yeah, I kind of half agree with you. Any of us, yours truly included, who put so much on YouTube. Now, this program I keep talking about, anonymity is the spiritual foundation of it all. How spiritual am I telling you? Hey, I'm a recovering alcoholic in AA, and I make a lot of my references to stuff from AA. This is a good book. This is a better book. This is the big book. It's also known as Alcoholics Anonymous. It's even better for me when you buy the English ones. This is an English one. I recently bought a Spanish one. Didn't realize it till I opened it up at home where my mom's home. I'm rambling. I agree with you, Finkel. Well, I'm not sure at what point you're agreeing with me, Bloodhorn 420. But you should agree with me on everything because I'm always right. That's a joke. I'm not always right. You don't need to be an alcoholic to utilize the 12 steps. Yeah, actually, thank you, James the Ginger. We alcoholics use the 12 steps as redesigned. I say redesigned by Bill W. because when he got sober, there was a group called, I think it was called the Oxford Group. And the Oxford Group had 6 similar steps. They are worded a little bit differently and they had a different meaning. But basically, they're outlining what we should do as human beings. Page 58. The How It Works. I better get the reading glasses for this. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Our path? People of religion have been doing these things for millennia. Those who do not recover people cannot or will not completely give themselves to this simple program. This simple program is basically another good book, A New Pair of Glasses. Actually, this is an old pair of glasses. Usually, get this, we're talking about the people who fell. Usually men and women who are constitutionally incapable of being honest with themselves. Now, we use it in AA because Bill Wilson kind of put this together using some foundations from the Oxford Group, and because he realized this is how normal people do it. You normal people out there, you grow up and you learn to cope. You learn to deal with life on life's terms. You admit things to your priest. You admit it when you're wrong. There's a few more paragraphs, and then we get into the actual 12 steps. And think of yourself as not being an alcoholic, not being an addict, not being someone who actually works 12 steps as written in somebody else's publication. We admitted we're powerless over alcohol. Our lives have become unmanageable. Basically, you're admitting the root of whatever the problem is. It doesn't have to be alcohol. You can't fix a problem until you admit there is a problem. And you came to believe, this is step 2, by a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Well, are we insane? What is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Guess what? It's part of the human nature to be insane. A power greater than ourselves, now they capitalize power because they mean God, they mean divinity, they mean a higher power, but basically anything outside of us, because when we start drinking at an early age and we stop emotionally developing, we cope with everything with alcohol or marijuana or sex or whatever, we stop leaning on a higher power. Number 3, which is the one we went over tonight, made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. As we understood Him is very important because not everyone's religious. Not everyone has a God with an uppercase G, a higher power. But you're willing to not be in charge of everything. That's what got you all fucked up. Think, oh no, I'm an alcoholic. I drink. I drink. When I drink, I have a compulsion to drink more. I don't have the ability to stop drinking on my own. But enough about alcoholism. These 12 steps are basically an outline for anybody to have a useful and productive life. The steps do work, but you're not going to stay clean till you're ready. Well, you got to fully admit to your innermost self the problem. For alcoholics, the problem is alcohol. For nicotine addicts, it's nicotine. For drug addicts, sex addicts, gambling aholics, whatever the problem is, you've got to first identify that there is a problem and that it is a problem for you. Most alcoholics and addicts and whatever, compulsive whatever, they don't think it's a problem for them. A lot of us think it's a problem for the next person. I'm not an alcoholic. You have a problem by drinking, not me. The cop had a problem. The only reason I got a DUI is because the cop had a problem. You blame the problem on everything else, or you deny the problem. You haven't reached step 1 of any recovering from any problem if you haven't identified the problem. It's basic. Now, it's not basic for people like me who didn't just grow up naturally practicing it. We had to be brought to it. In my case, a group of other men. In women's case, a group of other women. I'm rambling. I still don't feel good. Well, the 12th step is having had a spiritual awakening as the result of these steps, we tried to carry this message to others. I'm not very good carrying the message, whether it's about alcoholism or any of life's problems, because the truth is, I see drama and I jump in. What's the payoff? What's the reward? Today's reward for getting so involved in drama is I left the stream with a splitting headache. And that actually happened before my trip to New York. I had GS and for public safety up and, drama. Oh, look at the view count. It's usually 10. It's like 30 or 40 that day. It's not good for the headaches. Not good for the spiritual condition. Yeah, I like clicks and views as much as the next narcissistic egomaniac. No better way of spreading the message than your own living testimony. Yeah, what I did today was an example of how not to be. It's a good point, Ginger. Yeah. Well, it's 9 o'clock. I'm sure if you like the drama, I'm sure right now you could probably catch it either on GS or Hill Pirate Studios or whatever. And if you have the capacity to do it without getting sucked in, go for it. I'll probably tune in again, but not tonight. I will finish the project that I started for the sake of finishing it on the Christopher Ruff thing that I'm about 16 minutes into. I think 16:44, if I remember correctly. But I'm going to pick it back up, trying not to be sarcastic, I'm fluent in sarcasm. Yeah, you know what? I bought this shirt because I thought it was funny. The truth is, sarcasm's not funny. It's, human nature. I get it. I'm less than perfect. I feel like I'm leaving church to go listen to the devil now. Funny. Today was a 2 AA meeting day. Early today, 10 o'clock this morning, I went to a 10 o'clock meeting. The one I went to tonight's in a clubhouse where several meetings throughout the day gather and break up. Muckster, you lie, your feet stink, and you don't love Elvis. You hate sarcasm. Okay. Well, the morning meeting I went to was in a church basement. A lot of these meetings are in church basements because churches want people to stop being mean and drinking alcohol. They have a vested interest in. So we're in a church basement, and it's out there by Mount Vernon. And when I'm in that basement with my AT&T phone, I don't get a signal. I thought nobody got a signal. Apparently, Verizon gets signal because in the middle of the meeting, suddenly someone's phone just started blaring with their son's ringtone. And I didn't recognize it, but the people sitting around her. Now, keep in mind, this is an elderly lady. She's pushing 80, something like that, gray hair. When I say older lady, you have an image of an older lady. Her phone blares off what sounds like to me heavy metal rock music. And she's very embarrassed and she turns it off. Sorry, that was my son. Somebody next to her says, wasn't that the theme music from Lucifer? She goes, yeah, my son loves Lucifer. So you're telling me in a church basement where I don't get a signal, Lucifer got through. That's kind of scary. Now, Lucifer's a series that played a few years ago. It's comedy. It's not really religious. Kind of comedy, kind of drama comedy. But maybe I missed. But what did your sponsor think? I don't know. Somebody knows about sponsors. I really like to call them trusted advisors. But yeah, 12 and 12 talks about sponsors. The big book does not. I think sponsor was something developed after the first few years of AA. My sponsor thinks I'm not being very spiritual when I dabble in any social media. And that was the same 10, 11 years ago when I was getting into it on Facebook. The truth is, I got rid of Facebook. I mean, I have a fake Facebook account now for the sole purpose of plugging my YouTube channel. Same thing with X. I haven't plugged it in a while, but yeah, my sponsor doesn't think I was being very spiritual in my Facebooking. Well, eventually, I got rid of Facebook. And he doesn't think this is very spiritual either. And you know what? He's right. But a sponsor in AA is not like a sponsor in the military. When you go to a new military base and somebody a little bit higher rank or maybe the same rank, they tell you where the PX is, where the commissary is, where you go for your pay problems, where the chow hall is, and they give you guidance. And it's more you got to do it this way. An AA sponsor, a trusted advisor, as I like to call them, they're more for, this is how I work the steps and what works for me. And I'm here for if you want to share your experience, strength, and hope as you go through them. Suggestions. Our book is meant to be suggestive only. Now, it's also suggested that if you jump out of an airplane, you pull that cord on your parachute. You don't have to. It is suggested. That's a little AA humor. It is suggestive. Our book is meant to be suggestive only. Our program is suggestive only. You take what helps you and you leave the rest. And I'm really not trying to equate YouTube to AA. Please don't think that I am. For me, have to get out of the mean-spirited stuff. I'm not saying I am, because, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. I am human. I can say Muxer stole my fucking donuts, and that's not a very spiritual thing to say. But does anybody remember Hare Krishners in airports? Yeah, those fuckers got me once. Well, I'm kind of generous to a fault. And they see the suckers they identify the suckers easily. My sole job is to get them through the steps and only share. Oh, okay. So I have a fellow friend of Bill I've had more than one lately. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. My sole job is to get some through the steps and only share my experience, rarely advise, and only when asked, but reluctantly. Yeah, my sponsor didn't order me to get rid of Facebook, and he's not ordering me to be nicer on YouTube. He's like, that doesn't seem very spiritual to me. And he's right. It's not. 16 years. Congratulations to the program and to you. 13 years for me. Mr. K is a suck up. Who's Mr. K? Oh, Carrie. Okay. All right. I still feel physically like crap. And I don't know. Hope Muckster, Ariel, and Killing Time are paying attention to. I'll get back to the way we used to do things on YouTube. Just sit around and chat, not make fun of people. Kind of down one rabbit hole. Well, I did with Fraud Wrangler. Then we went down a rabbit hole when we thought Fine Fix Finish was going after Izzy. And then we went down another rabbit hole when Izzy revealed herself. And we've been going down rabbit holes with GS. I haven't been very nice, and sometimes you guys join me in that. I like the way we used to do it. Play a song or two, chit chat, have a big turnout of 8 to 10 viewers. And I guess if we really feel like drama, we can join other panels and have real drama. Right now, in this moment, I'm not in the mood for drama. Yeah, I miss those days with Muckster and Ariel. Just sit and chat. Yeah. Those are good days. Nerdy 2 would chat too. Oh, yeah. All right. 909. Ariel and Killen have no trouble quitting with the drama. That's for sure. They were the least likely to be pulled in, and then Muckster was least likely, although when you piss off Muckster, you know you've pissed off Muckster. And I think I'm the biggest, yeah. These channels are using my name, Finkel and Shadow Finkel, but I'm the biggest perpetrator of the drama out of the four of us. Is it healthy and wise to be revealing yourself online with an ongoing chronic condition? Is this your safe place anymore, Finkel? Well, for the most part, my real name's still anonymous. Some of you know my real name. Well, yeah. Maybe I should stop talking about AA and 12 steps in this format and just translate it into, hey, if you got a problem, admit it. Don't try and fix the problem for yourself. Get some help. Check yourself out. Do an inventory. Share your inventory with somebody else. When you've done that inventory and you share with somebody else, try and work on those other character defects and flaws. Have you harmed somebody? Yeah, go ahead and make a list of it and decide if you're willing to fix the harms. If you can fix the harms without doing any further harms, yeah, go ahead and fix those harms. And as you go through life on a daily basis, when you realize you screwed up, because you are human, you're going to screw up, admit it. And I'd suggest whatever your religious or spiritual belief is, take time throughout the day to pause, meditate. If you do pray, pray. And you know what? While you're at it, The things you learn from all this, share with others. Oh, you know what I just did? I just went over the 12 steps of AA. Good evening, Shadow Finkel, says King Bluto. No time for fakes. Be proud of your 12 steps. Forget these drama idiots. Well, drama is addictive. Drama sells. It's intriguing. Can we forget these drama idiots? Guess what? I'm one of them. I'm a drama idiot. It's not good for me. So looking forward to the next time I go live and hearing some Muckster dad jokes and some aerial racism, because you won't let anybody but white people mow his lawn. And maybe if I come on in the morning, I can hear Killing Time's sexy voice that the chicks dig. Your name, Ted. Your name, Ted. Your name, Ted. I don't know what that means. I'm going to quote Forrest Gump. I'm tired. I think I'll go home now. Hi, Miss Summer. How you doing? Got me just in time to say goodnight. And everyone, be groovy unto each other. If you can't, be groovy unto yourself. Good night.
I don't know what those two putas are talking about. I am the wind beneath Finkel's.
Hold on. It is obviously me. I am the wind.
You guys, this is stupid. I knew him first. Obviously, he is nothing without.
Oh, you knew him first. I am so sick of this. I knew him first bullshit.
Me too.
I don't care what anyone says. I am Finkel's favorite.
If it wasn't
for me, he'd just be one more rambling old man on the internet.
Come on, you guys. Why can't we all just get along? To be honest, I like to think I am the wind beneath my own wings.
Shut up, Finkel.